Hello and welcome to Desperate Times Call for Desperate Foods. I'm your host, Kade. This is Barry. This is Chance. And today we're talking about ketchup.
Yes, we are talking about ketchup. And to be honest with you, Kade, I've seen this debate many times. Ketchup is made from tomatoes. Tomatoes are a fruit. So ketchup is a fruit sauce.
A fruit sauce. Now, there's a difference between how ketchup is made and how a traditional jam or jelly is made. And
so I won't disagree with you on that, especially between jelly and a sauce. But jam can be and has been made with pureed fruit. And ketchup is made with a pureed tomato. And a tomato, botanically, is a fruit.
So going back to the first point, so would ketchup be closer to a jam then, or a jelly?
Closer to a jam.
Closer to a jam. What was that?
Is jam and jelly not the same thing?
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
Huh.
So jam is, how is jam different from jelly?
So jelly is the strained juices of the fruit, which is then solidified with a gelatin like pectin. And so it is clear and solid. Whereas a jam is a chopped or pureed fruit that is then a little bit of gelatin, not nearly as much gelatin as jelly, is added to it to give it some viscosity, but you get little bits of fruit in every bite.
You really do learn something every day. So, do you know how when I was a kid, you just thought of tomatoes as a vegetable. But as you get older and everything, people start to tell you that tomatoes are fruit. And so it's just weird to think that ketchup would be made by tomatoes would be different than jelly because we've known it now as a fruit. And
so that debate goes all the way back to the early 1890s. In the 1880s, a tariff was imposed on the importation of vegetables,
Really?
but not fruit.
Tariff from Europe?
No, coming into the U.S.
Oh, okay.
So the United States government imposed a tariff on imported vegetables. And a fruit and vegetable importer in New York sued the federal government because he said that tomatoes were a fruit and he should not be charged import dues. And it went all the way to the Supreme Court in 1893. The Supreme Court made a legal decision that tomatoes were a vegetable and should be taxed in accordance with the vegetable tariffs. So there's no scientific reason for tomatoes to be a vegetable. They're not. They're a fruit.
Yeah.
And because they're a fruit, ketchup is made from tomatoes, a fruit, hence ketchup is a fruit sauce, not a jelly, more in line with a jam. But it's a fruit sauce.
That's crazy. So this debate has lasted so long and it's been so controversial throughout time that we at once had to take this to court.
Not once, but twice.
Twice. We had to take it to court.
The second time, much more controversial.
Oh.
During the Reagan presidential era, the federal government, in order to cut back on money spent on food subsidies for free lunch program, classified ketchup as a vegetable and said that counts as one of the two vegetables that were required in the free lunch to make it a balanced meal. So if you can imagine, a lot of the people who are in favor of balanced meals did not agree with that at all.
And that's like modern day times. Like the first time was 1800s. So
1890s.
1890s.
And the second time was 1980s.
And the second time was modern times.
Well, modern for me.
Modern for you. Okay.
Predates you guys a little bit.
I still consider after after so long to be pretty modern. What do you know about tomatoes? What do you know about jam?
No. Well, my aunt used to grow tomatoes. I used to think that they were always vegetables.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really think to research
I
it
feel
like that, but
yeah, that's just like how you think
Yeah.
in your mind as a kid. Like
because
the
most
tomatoes
like
and
yeah,
vegetables.
because like most vegetables I feel like grow on like plants and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
So
Just makes
it's
sense.
interesting. So like, for instance, grapes grow on a vine.
yeah,
Do you think they're a vegetable?
no, but
No?
No.
So
That's-
I
don't
will,
know.
I will say this, that in my research, one of the things that came up quite often was, and it even showed up in the Britannica article that I read, was that prior to the federal government imposing that tariff, there really wasn't any difference. People didn't identify things as fruits and vegetables. As a matter of fact, the definition of vegetable is so broad that it really, as it's written, is a vegetable is any part of a plant that is eaten as food. So technically, a fruit falls under that broad category of vegetables, a lot like every bourbon is a whiskey, but not every whiskey is a bourbon.
Okay.
So fruits, technically, if you went broad spectrum and very generalized on the definition, all fruits would be considered vegetables.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons we don't count tomatoes as a fruit and more as a vegetable is because of the nature, the savory nature.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know anybody who's eaten a tomato salad for dessert. And tomatoes are often used as an accompaniment on your main course, as a sauce on the main course, or the tomato on your burger, if you will. So a lot of people perceive it as a vegetable because it's used in a vegetable-like manner.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's,
So-
and a tomato is very different than like other like what we normalize to be fruits, like like an apple or banana or whatever. Like it's a very different sort of like not only texture but also taste and also like the way it looks, and yeah, it's pretty vegetable-like, but I do get what you mean.
Yeah. But
So-
I will still say, as far as botany is concerned, botanically, the tomato is a fruit. And I would maintain that ketchup is a fruit sauce because it contains as a main ingredient tomato.
Technically, yes. Yeah.
And
So whenever we got this idea a few weeks back or whatever, like the fact, like I'd never even once in my head thought like ketchup could be a jelly. Like it's just never even been in my head. But now, like whenever we heard it a few weeks ago, it just kind of like now I actually started thinking about it. Like it's actually an interesting like debate, that we've
Yeah.
had apparently since the 1800s.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what about? So you said your mom or grandmother or whatever, she grew
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like, did she ever make her own ketchup, her own?
No, I don't
like,
think so. I think she just kind of grew like the baby tomatoes, and then we just kind of ate them off the vine or whatever. So,
bet they were
but
great.
yeah, oh, they were so
I bet
good.
they
Oh
were
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
especially when it was like summertime. It's like
Yeah.
an 8-year-old kid. Oh,
Yeah.
That's so good. But yeah.
My grandmother also used to grow tomatoes. She didn't make her own ketchup, but she did make her own like strawberry jam, and it was,
Oh, okay.
it was
Oh, wow.
so good. That's besides the point.
So,
Did you ever grow tomatoes?
I have tried. My parents had tomato plants when I was much younger, but my career didn't allow for a whole lot of open yard to grow plants.
I
So
see.
I was bouncing around a lot, being in the Coast Guard, moving every 2 to 3 years just doesn't really,
Yeah.
you're not getting real settled.
And you used to live up north, didn't you? Does that make it like harder to grow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the colder it is, the less likely tomatoes are to thrive.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the further north you go, they really do, most often you get hothouse tomatoes.
I got you.
So-
All right. Well, that was a really good history on the tomato. Thank you for Barry. Thank you for Chance. And join us next time for Desperate Times Call for Desperate Foods. Thank you.